We are here today about a grand jury indictment that was returned that included not just Jeffrey Williams, which is of some notoriety and media attention, but about 28 defendants that operated within our community between the time period of 2012 and 2022. It is our allegation that they operated as a criminal street gang and commenced to do havoc in our community. That havoc includes crimes of violence, crimes of thefts, crimes involving drugs. I've made no secret about it, nor any apology, that as the district attorney of Fulton County, my number one focus is targeting gangs. And there's a reason for that. They are committing conservatively 75 to 80% of all of the violent crime that we are seeing within our community. And so they have to be rooted out of our community. I said just a week or two ago, it does not matter what your notoriety is, what your fame is. If you come to Fulton County, Georgia, and you commit crimes, and certainly if those crimes are in furtherance of a street gang, that you are going to become a target and a focus of this district attorney's office, and we are going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. I agree with Chief Bryant. What you see yesterday and what you will see in the upcoming months and years is the result of a lot of hard work by both the Atlanta Police Department and this office. We are proud to bring forth this indictment and hopefully to bring justice to a lot of the community who was victimized through the course you see in this indictment. But more importantly, the most important thing that we are here to do is to keep this community safe, and we believe removing these 28 defendants will keep Fulton County safer. The First Amendment does not protect people from prosecutors using it as evidence if it is such.
Legal analyst Paige Pate says it may be hard to use music as proof of a crime.
I've not seen a successful challenge to these Georgia laws that allow that kind of evidence to be used as evidence of a crime in a criminal trial, but I do think that's going to be problematic for the state.
But attorney Daryl Cohen believes, coupled with other evidence, the lyrics add substance.
It's just piece by piece by piece. And taken by themselves, they probably don't mean a lot. But when you put them together, what do you have? A big RICO conspiracy.
Using rap lyrics as evidence is not new, but there's conflicting results. Rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine's lyrics were used in his 2018 trial, where it was discovered he was not a gang member, even though he said he was in his songs. In 2016, rapper Tay K was convicted of murder, using a music video as evidence. And in 2018, rapper Vontae Skinner's lyrics were used in his attempted murder trial. His conviction was overturned when the New Jersey Supreme Court ruled the jury wouldn't have found him guilty if they weren't made to listen to his lyrics. Still, Cohen believes Willis's tactic of using Thug's music as proof of gang activity is the right way to go.
Yo, yo, yo! What it is, people, we is back. Another day on Keep It G News. And then we talking about the YSL RICO trial. And I gotta admit, y'all, I was wrong. I thought the trial was never gonna start. I thought this was a scare tactic by the state and they was gonna try to give these guys deals. All of them. Because I've honestly never seen a jury selection take this long, y'all. We talking about 11 months. Jury selection is a proceeding that normally lasts maybe 2 days, a week tops, maybe 2, depending on the severity of the case. Yo, but we talking about 11 months, y'all. And I think it was a win. When it's all said and done, I think Brian Steele and YSL and Young Thug and all them guys won jury selection. Because y'all know they trying them all together. And they got a very favorable jury, you know. It's a lot of black men on there, some black women. I think it might only be like 3 Caucasian members on the whole selection. That's a win, you know. But in this video, we talking about lyrics. How do y'all feel about lyrics being used in trial? Now, I'm going to be the first one to admit, and I've admitted this before, you know, but I got a lot of new followers now, so I'm going to keep real with y'all. I am very biased when it comes to the court system, you know, because I've been done by the court system dirty. And I've seen countless other black males done dirty by the court system, so I got to make sure I watch closely when I'm processing everything that's going on, because I don't trust them. I actually call it the barter system, you know, because it's all about money. And for the right price, shit, you can get off of anything. If you notice, most charges has a price tag next to it. You feel me? Except for things like murder. And I doubt if RICO got a price tag next to it either. But it looked like to me at the time that these guys just was trying to drain their money. You know, this was a money grab. We're going to drain YSL. You take their money, you take their power. And that might still be the play. But come to find out, trial is actually starting soon. I think in 19 days. So before a trial start, and we saying this in YNW Melly case, you got to have the pre-trial hearings. And part of pre-trial hearings and motions is to see what evidence is going to be allowed in court and what evidence is going to be tossed out in court. And today, they talked about lyrics.
So, Your Honor, those are some of the still images from that particular video. And so some of the lyrics, I just meet a murder rap, pay my lawyer 30 for that. What we have, Your Honor, is in and around 2019, in and around that time, Mr. Jackson Stillwell is speaking of his initial charges as it relates to the shooting of Donovan Thomas. Around that time, Your Honor, those charges were initially dropped, but of course he was reindicted on that indictment, reindicted on those charges in this indictment. Then we also have, Your Honor, me and my slimes above the law, we don't walk into no court at all. Again, Mr. Stillwell and his fellow associates who are in the video, which is Lee, Farley, Nichols, are all appearing in that video, Your Honor. They're advising that they can commit crimes without no consequences. That is what that is alluding to. Again, Your Honor, I spoke earlier about, and I keep a stick, ain't avoiding no smoke. Mr. Stillwell is charged in this indictment in count 2 of this indictment with murder, in which we are alleging and charging that Mr. Stillwell was one of the individuals who shot and killed Donovan Thomas on January 10, 2015. We are also alleging in this indictment, Your Honor, on counts 49 through 54, as well as the count 1, the RICO conspiracy, that Mr. Stillwell murdered Shamel Drinks with a gun. And then last but certainly not least, in count 64 through 65, Your Honor, which is the March 17th, 2022 apprehension of Mr. Stillwell, the state is alleging that Mr. Stillwell threw out weapons outside of his vehicle as he was leading officers in an accelerated chase and throwing guns out of the window. Again, this being evidence of particular crimes, and I keep a stick, ain't avoiding no smoke. Additionally, Your Honor, I'm that slime that you always talk about, and I wipe your nose. Again, Mr. Stillwell is associating himself with being a slime, being a part of Young Slime Life, that gang, and I'll wipe your nose, which is one of the signs that this gang shows their affiliation with this gang and enterprise. Party opponent admission as to Mr. Stillwell. As to all the defendants in this indictment, it would be a co-conspirator admission and declaration against interest. And to Mr. Farley, Mr. Lee, and Mr. Nichols, only Mr. Nichols, who is currently sitting at this table, it would be an adoptive admission as to him. Next, Your Honor, we have from Mr. Williams' song, which was posted on YouTube in April of 2014, the song EU. And he says, honestly, truth be told, YSL won't fold, pick his ass off from the balcony, YSL wipe a nigga nose. Again, Your Honor, that same reference of YSL wiping a nigga's nose or wiping nose, which is one of the symbols that's associated that these individuals who participate in the YSL gang, it is one of their identifiers to show their participation and allegiance into this gang. He also says YSL won't fold, pick his ass off the balcony. Again, this is a reference to YSL criminal street gang members not folding, not snitching, or cooperating with law enforcement. And there'll be another lyric that is similar in nature to this as well. And again, as the state just mentioned, the YSL wipe a nigga knows what that reference is, which is one of their symbols that they show their affiliation and association with this gang. This statement would come in against Mr. Williams as a party admission, and then to all of the other co-conspirators as a co-conspirator admission and a declaration against interest. third lyric in this grouping of lyrics would be from the song Really Be Slime. Now, this is a song on this is on the Slime Language 2 album, Your Honor, which is a compilation album, which is a compilation album by Young Stoner Life, Young Thug, who was Jeffrey Williams, and Gunna, who was Sergio Kitchens, both Mr. Williams and Mr. Kitchens being co-conspirators in this indictment. And we have an individual by the name of YNW Melly, who says this as the chorus. My niggas really be slime, and we committing them crimes. Hop out and shoot. And then we have B Slime, who was another, who was an individual who was not, who's an individual who was not charged in this indictment, but he says, wanna be slime, go catch you a body. Here, Your Honor, in this case, again, for count 1, RICO, my niggas really be slime and we committing them crimes. We have all of the individuals in this indictment charged in the predicate act. Each and all defendants are charged with the 191 overt acts, some of which are predicates. We also have that in count 1, Act 17, 79, and 173, which all deal with the shooting deaths of both Donovan Thomas, which is also count 2 in the indictment, Jamari Holmes, who was murdered as well, who is part of this indictment, as well as Shamel Drinks. Each of those individuals were all murdered, and it's the state's contention that when they say, wanna be slime, go catch you a body, I mean, you go out and you go murder someone. That's how you can become slime. You go murder someone and you go catch a body. And we have these 3 individuals who were murdered as a part of this indictment. When you look at this particular admission, Your Honor, again, these admissions go to show the enterprise because of how this song shows that these individuals talk about being slime and being part of YSL. Again, slime being one of the phraseologies that each of these individuals call themselves or talk about being a part of YSL. We also show that these statements would come against all of the defendants as a co-conspirator admission and a declaration against interest. It would come against Mr. Williams as an adoptive admission because he is the person who put this compilation CD out. So these statements would be, as to him, a adoptive admission, as well as to Mr. Sergio Kitchens, it would be an adoptive admission as to him as well. Also significant, Your Honor, with this particular case is that the front covering of this particular album, Your Honor, has some significant value. The cover of this Slime Language 2 album has a gold frame with a snake coming out of the top of the frame. The snake represents another symbol that YSL gang members use when they are speaking in text messages, when they are speaking on Instagram. They use that as one of their symbols. And so it's significant, Your Honor, because again, this gold, and I have a picture for the court, it's gold and it has these 2 snakes coming out. Mr. Williams is inside of the picture here wearing green. Again, the color that we believe our gang experts will testify to is the color that this gang uses. And so, Your Honor, we believe for those particular reasons, so the words inside of this song as well as some of the imagery, Your Honor, again. Now, Your Honor, the last song, or the last, statement within this particular category is going to be a statement from the song Slime Shit. This statement has Mr. Jeffrey Williams, Mr. Diamante Kendrick, Martinez Arnold, and Jimmy Winfrey. This was released on Apple Music on March of 2016. And the lyric is, hey, this that slime shit. Hey, YSL shit. Killing 12 shit. Fuck a jail shit. This that mob shit. YSL, this that mob life. Now, first and foremost, as it relates to the first portion of this verse, hey, this that slime shit. YSL shit. Killing 12 shit. Fuck a jail shit. Your Honor, we have a case with Christian Eppinger. that's going to be counts 32 through 39 in this indictment, in which when he was being apprehended by Officer Rogers of the Atlanta Police Department, this defendant pulls out a gun and shoots Officer Rogers multiple times, only by the grace of God that he is not dead. But that represents this mindset of this gang. This is what they do. They want to kill in 12 shit. We know that 12 is a euphemism for police and that's what our gang experts will testify to. And so this particular verse or particular portion of this statement will go to show, again, the mens rea, the state of mind of members of this gang. This, that second part, this, that slime shit, this, that mob shit. Again, referencing to slime being like a mafia family, being those who engage in this, in a mafia type of mindset. Fuck the jail, YSL, this, that mob life. Again, disrespect to the judicial system, which we heard in that first lyric that first statement with Mr. Stillwell. There's some other relevant statements within this song. He says, 100 rounds in a Tahoe, give him surgery, no lipo. Well, normally that wouldn't seem significant. However, in the January 10th, 2015 murder of Donovan Thomas drove a Tahoe. And not only did Donovan Thomas drive a Tahoe, there are multiple rounds of shell casings laid out on the ground where he was killed in front of his barbershop. And his Tahoe was in front of the barbershop when he was murdered. And so while it may on its surface seem irrelevant, when you put it to the facts that are going to come out in this particular case, that particular verse becomes very relevant. Then another statement within this song is, fuck the police and the high speed. Your Honor, we have multiple predicate acts in this particular indictment where members of the YSL gang flee from police. We have Marquavius Huey in November 2021, who leads the police on a high-speed chase when they're trying to apprehend him for an armed robbery that he committed. We have Shannon Stillwell not once, but twice in 2019 and in March of 2022, where he flees from police, where they are trying to stop and apprehend him. Your Honor, you have had the occasion to see one of those videos of that chase. That's the 2022 chase, but we also have another one that happened in 2019. And then we have Diamante Kendrick in October of 2015 running from police to go shoot up the opposition gang. And Your Honor, that is significant because, again, you see multiple times where these individuals are running from the gang. So this isn't just on its surface, just fuck the police in a high speed. These are the mental state of these individuals. When police come, we run. Very indicative of facts that's going to come out in this case when we go to trial. So again, Your Honor, for that particular verse, we have that these statements will go for Mr. Williams, Mr. Arnold, Mr. Winfrey. For Mr. Williams, it'll be a party admission. For Mr. Arnold, an adoptive admission. For Mr. Jimmy Winfrey, a party admission and an adoptive admission. And for all of the other co-defendants, a co-conspirator admission and declaration against interest. So that is the conclusion of Category 1. Now we have Category 2, which would be evidence of the nature of the YSL enterprise gang. Statement that we're going to reference is a statement in the song Take It to Trial, which is with Jeffrey Williams, Sergio Kitchens, and Diamante Kendrick. And this is a song that was released on Apple Music in December of 2020. And so this is Mr. Kendrick speaking, I rep my life for real, for slimes, you know I kill. Mr. Kendrick is charged in count 2 of this indictment with murder. That is the murder of Donovan Thomas. He is alleged, along with Shannon Stillwell, Demas McMullen, Justin Cobb, and Javorce Bradford, are alleged to have planned the killing of Mr. Thomas, Your Honor. And so it is the state's contention that for his slimes, which all of them we have alleged are a part of this conspiracy, part of this enterprise, YSL, he will kill. And he's alleged to have done that, and we have alleged that he has done that. So again, this is not just something that's just being said in abstract, but when you couple this with the evidence that will be presented in this case, it's extremely significant. It's extremely significant. Again, this particular, as an example of the verse of showing the nature of the enterprise, again, going to the state of mind, the intent, the motive, the knowledge of the gang, as well as the enterprise, and again, some of the underlying offenses. Again, this statement would come in with Mr. Kendrick as a party admission, as to Mr. Kitchens and Mr. Williams as an adoptive admission, and as to all of the other co-conspirators and co-defendants as co-conspirator admissions and declarations against interest. The second statement, which is from a song called Dream, which is again by DeMonte Kendrick. It was released on Apple Music in April of 2015. He says, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Yet Got It. I got bodies on bodies." Again, talking about the fact that he has bodies on bodies, which is the state's contention, when our experts will testify to, is that he got dead bodies on bodies, not just regular bodies, but just bodies on bodies. Additionally, in this particular song, Your Honor, Mr. Kendrick says, "I'm with Thugger, that's my woaded. And we solid, oh so solid. If I get caught, I'm gonna say nothing. YSL, bitch, we mobbing." Again, if he gets caught, he won't say anything. That is the mindset of this gang, Your Honor. This is the mindset that if we ever get caught, we won't say anything, we won't speak, we'll keep it quiet. That's consistent with what we saw previously in another one of those lyrics, that this gang knows if they get caught, don't say nothing. Or that's at least what you should have some allegiance to. Again, going to showing the nature of the enterprise, the nature of YSL, that this is the nature of how this gang operates. This statement would be admissible against Mr. Kendrick as a party admission and an adoptive admission. As to Mr. Williams, it would be adoptive admission and a party admission. And as to all other co-defendants, co-conspirators, it would be a co-conspirator admission and declaration against interest. Next, we have, Your Honor, a song by he's featured on the song. So the song is actually by an artist that goes by the name of Juice WRLD, and it's featuring Mr. Williams. The song is called Bad Boy. It was released on Apple Music in January of 2021. And Mr. Williams says, "I shot at his mommy, now he no longer mentioned me." Now this would seem again insignificant if you're just looking at these words. However, in this case, in the height of the 2050 gang war between the YSL gang and the IF gang, we have cases in which individuals of YSL shoot at the opposition's mother's house. Mr. Rayshawn Bennett, also known as YF Manlucci. We have two incidents in January 22 of 2015 and January 26 of 2015, where his mother's home, Mr. Bennett's mother's home, was shot at. And it is alleged to have been shot at by a YSL associate. What we have, Your Honor, and the evidence is going to go out that come in, Your Honor, we believe, is that the shooting from January 26, 2015, that we have a Nibin connection in which that gun that used to shoot at that house was found in the hands of a YSL associate. So us inferring that a YSL associate shot at his mama's house. So this is very different than this just being a verse that's just out there. We have evidence to show that this is something that happened in this case, and therefore will be relevant for the purposes of coming in here. So again, this would be coming in to show an underlying offense, to show being part of the enterprise, to show that this was a gang act that was completed. And this would come in against Mr. Williams as a party admission, and then all of the other defendants as a co-conspirator admission or a declaration against interest. And then on this particular board, Your Honor, this last song on this board is a song by Mr. Wooney Lee, which is called Where You From. It was released on YouTube in August of 2020. And this is a song, Your Honor, just for context, is filmed again on Cleveland Avenue. This song was also, the video for this song was also filmed at the same Exxon gas station that we saw in the Shannon Stillwell video. Your Honor, there are other associates or members of YSL in this video, Your Honor. I have a few additional kind of screenshots from that video as well. May I approach and I'll show opposing counsel the three pictures that I'm going to be referencing during my...
You may, madam.
So first you have, Your Honor, State's Exhibit number 15, which I'm going to show to opposing counsel. Against showing association of other individuals of the gang within the videos. So what does he say? He says, where are you from? I'm from Cleveland. What Your Honor, the evidence will show and our gang experts will say is that Cleveland is the name that blood gang members use because they don't want to say Cleveland. So they say Cleveland Avenue, and that will come in. Throw your setup, YSL. The ops hate the crew, we getting paper, and we ducking cases. There's a few additional statements in between that. He says, free Lil Shannon, he the one that had them running with the cannon. Your Honor, we believe that running with that cannon, a cannon being a gun. Again, Mr. Lee acknowledging that Little Shannon had them running with that cannon. Little Shannon, Shannon Stillwell, is the person who is the shooter of the gang. Because that is who he is referencing in this particular lyric and in this particular verse. Again, this entire admission would come in, one, for state of mind, as far as the mens rea, to show, again, participation in this enterprise, to show participation within this gang, and it would come in against Mr. Lee.
May I just seek clarification from the state's argument? You're saying mens rea. Who's mens rea? Are they arguing it's about?
Everyone.
One of these words are misquoted. Everyone's mens rea? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
That all the defendants, it will come in against as a co-conspirator admission as well as a declaration against interest. And then if I can have the next board. Octavius Greer 2010 murder case. As it relates to Damone Blaylock, he is currently handling his murder appeal for the 2019 murder case. And as it relates to Shannon Stillwell, when he was arrested in March of 2022, he initially reached out to Mr. Steele for representation on that murder case. Now, that case did not come to, his representation did not come to fruition because we believe that this case, Mr. Williams was indicted, so Mr. Steele ended up representing Mr. Williams on this particular case.
That's not true. You can tell me that later. I mean, this is
State has a letter from that was months before.
Yeah,
That's just
we talked about this before, Mr. Steele, so I'm familiar with it. So.
And Your Honor, what we believe the state's evidence will show is that Mr. Jackson and a recorded other YSL members who shot and killed Mr. Thomas were in. He rented that car about 2 days before, Your Honor. Also, as it relates to the shooting, the stabbing of the stabbing of Jaden Myrick within the jail in February of 2022. We have evidence that both Jaden Myrick, who actually did stab Mr. Bennett, as well as Christian Eppinger, who was going to attempt to stab and kill Mr. Bennett, sought permission from Mr. Williams before actually doing the crime. So Jaden Myrick, in speaking to co-conspirator Demikion Garlington and Khalif Adams, was trying to get permission from Mr. Williams to execute the actual stabbing of Mr. Bennett. When Mr. Myrick was not successful, Christian Eppinger, about 2 weeks later, reached out to Antonio Sumlin, who's also a co-conspirator in this case, to seek again permission in order to effectuate the stabbing of Mr. Bennett. Thankfully, at that time, Mr. Bennett was relocated, and thus this second attempt did not occur. But again, showing that they had to get permission from him in order to execute or do any of these crimes, showing again that he is the leader.
I don't know about y'all, right? But when you evaluate this case, I mean the whole case, right? YSL does not look like a gang to me. No, the RICO was designed to attack the mob. You know, people that was moving in unison. You know, they had hierarchies and bosses. You know, things like that. YSL, when they break down all these crimes and these charges, right? It looked like to me a group of guys that may knew each other. Some of them might even didn't know each other. But it looked like to me they was all moving as individuals. You know, maybe under one umbrella, but as individuals. That's not what the mob was doing. So it's crazy how they was allowed to take a law that was designed to take down the mob and use it against YSL and other crews that it don't really fit the criteria, in my opinion. Even when it come down to the lyrics, NBA YoungBoy used slime. Is he a part of YSL as well? Now, one of the things I hate about lyrics being used at trial, you know, and I'm gonna try to be fair as possible with this, y'all, even though I got some biases. I'm gonna keep it real. But one of the things I hate about lyrics being used at trial is the state is allowed to mischaracterize these lyrics to fit their narrative. And I'm sure y'all heard some of that in what she just said. Peanut Nut Thomas was shot and killed, and he supposed to have been in the Yukon. Car sprayed with bullets, but who said it was 100 shots? You know, that type of stuff is subjective. We seen it with Boosie case. And I just don't think that's an adequate prosecution, and there's still a lot of people that feel both ways. Some people feel like, you know, that's a little lazy to use lyrics. You know, you really want to get concrete evidence. But some people say, hey, like Fannie Willis, if you're going to say it, we're going to use it. But I just don't like it at all, yo, because I only see that done to one particular group of people. And a case can be made that, well, we the only ones that do it. You feel me? But at the end of the day, I would like to see, you know, if they really want to take these guys to trial, yo, come with some concrete evidence, some proof, some eyewitnesses, you know, some fingerprint evidence, some, you know, something concrete, something that can stick. Not all social media posts and speculation, you know. That's what we saying right now. The same type of stuff we watching with O-Block. It's like, yo, they prosecuting now people and sending them to prison for a large amount of times off of evidence that is subjective. It can mean anything. But they put it to the jury in a way that say, look, this is what they saying, but in reality, they don't know what they saying. You know, they just speculate. Even though some of the lyrics line up. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm going to be fair. These guys got to watch what they say. And Young Thug was way too old to be moving how he was moving. You know, he in his 30s. You got to think a little bit smarter and wiser than that. Yo, like, why are you rapping about, and I know some of this stuff is old, but why would you ever rap about, if this was true, that you shot somebody's mother house up and kind of find out Lucci mother house been shot up twice, and why is y'all shooting people mother's house? Like, yo, what's really going on in the world, man? God damn, like, yo, was he there? At least, like, I don't understand the reason being. Like, what was it, a message? Like, what if that lady would have died? We seen that with Psycho Bob and what's going on down in Florida. Like, yo, in Baltimore, we don't respect that type of behavior, y'all. Even though it happens. But it's rare, and when it does happen, it's get frowned upon. Like, you're not ready to be able to get on there and rap about it like it's cool. No, we don't rock with that, yo. I don't know when did that become gangster. You got a problem, handle it with the guys you handle it with, yo. Don't go as civilians and trying to hurt innocent people. Like, I don't be really with that. But like I say, I want to know from y'all, how do y'all feel about fingerprint evidence? I mean, about lyrics being used at trial. You know, it's proponents for both sides. Me, I'm on the side of, yo, I don't like it because I watch cases where somebody will say something in their lyrics or in a text message, and I know it means something else, but the state will make it mean whatever they want it to mean to fit their narrative. But I also understand the other angle too, what is, yo, stop speaking on things like that if you don't want it used against you. Just like when you getting read your Miranda rights, anything you say can and will be used against you. I guess you can apply that to social media now. But let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments. This is Keep It G News.
Nigga can't do what I do, y'all niggas can't copy me. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep the shit G. Let's keep shit G. Let's keep shit G.